Hear, O Israel, when we were the persecuted, I was one of you. How can I remain one when you become the persecutors? Your longing was to become like the other nations who murdered you. Now you have become like them. You have outlived those who were cruel to you. Does their cruelty live on in you now? You ordered the defeated, take off your boots. Like the scapegoat, you drove them into the wilderness, into the great mosque of death, whose sandals are of sand. But they did not take upon them the sin you wished to lay on them. The imprint of their naked feet in the desert sand outlasts the traces of your bombs and your tanks.
Presumably you believe that it is right for the Jews to have a homeland.
Oh dear, it would have been right if they hadn't tried to drive out the inhabitants of that homeland. And I don't think the Jews have a right to a state that is racist. A Jewish homeland, a place where they could settle, would have been a different thing. And the Palestinians didn't object to that originally. But once it became a state, it means to establish a state against its former inhabitants. Their original slogan was, a land without people for a people without land. And to think that Palestine, at the eastern end of the Mediterranean, with Jerusalem as a capital, would be a land without people except a few nomadic Arabs who could just as well live next door, was an idiotic assumption. I felt, as a Jew, I had to stand up for the Palestinians because they were driven away from their country like I had been driven away from Austria.